Hi everyone. Glad to have you guys on board. We will wait a bit for new joiners. Nice. Welcome everyone. Nice. So we have a lot of people who have joined already. Feel free to say hi if you have already joined the call. Okay, we are going to start in 1 minute. A few more people are joining. And let's go. Perfect. So welcome everyone. Super glad to have you in this live announcements on both LinkedIn and YouTube. We are super excited to be with you tonight and to make history together. For those of you who have seen my speech at Fish Burners, you know that at Upworth we are revolutionaries. So today we are happy to share with you a revolution for the OC personal finance ecosystem made by Upworth. But before we dive in this announcement, and for our friends here who don't know Upworth, a few words of introduction. Upworth is a trusted one-stop shop for your personal finance, where you can connect all of your sources of wealth in one place, whether it's bank accounts, property, crypto, loans, investments, you name it. And view, plan, and grow your wealth. In a few words, your financial passport. I am Maxime Chaury, co-founder of Upworth, Forbes Under 30, ex-strategy consultant, and ex-managing director of several scale-ups across APAC. Today, I am particularly happy to introduce you to my co-founder Alexandre Chavotier, previous manager at McKinsey and Quantum Black, the AI branch of McKinsey in Sydney. He was also previously head of strategy of a major scale-up before founding Upworth. Tonight, we have an agenda in three parts. The first will be a quick intro of the subject of the evening, owning your savings account, followed by a live demo of the tool that will change your savings life, and finally, taking any questions from you, right? It has to be interactive. That's the whole purpose of a live. Before we start, an important disclaimer. This is an announcement about a product today, update, an analysis of an industry, and a sharing of information about this industry. This is in no way financial advice. If you are looking for financial advice, please reach out to a licensed financial advisor that neither of us is. So did you know that Australian households miss around $30 billion in unearned interest without even considering offset accounts? On average, this represents almost $1,500 per Australian adults and a compounded loss of more than $8,000 over a 5 year period. Actually, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission shared its research and stressed that there was a lot of complexity to navigate and make sense of savings account on offer in Australia today. And that's why at Upworth we did our own research across more than 165 savings accounts offered online as of June 2024. And we found that the savings account landscape is broken in at least 4 ways. The first one, there are wide discrepancies in annual interest rate offered between banks, right? The same person could earn from $5.75 per annum to $0 per dollar of savings, depending on the choice of their savings account. The second point is that there are variations as well between the interest rate on offer inside the same bank, and sometimes with no objective reasons. The third one is that the complex product design and conditions often enable banks to, make it hard to compare products with behind the high headline rates, obviously. And lastly, I think the frequent rate changes make it impossible to stay on top of the best conditions, or at least without support. But at Upworth, we believe there is no fatality in that, right? And that's why we are committed to empower individuals like you to retake control of your money. And so that's why we launched a free-to-use savings account scanner for everyone, so that you can be immediately alerted of a better available savings account rate, monitor your bonus rate achievement, be alerted if there is the end, for instance, of your introductory rate on one of the products you have, as well as have a clear view of all the product details, and of course, powerful self-directed tools for making the right decision. So at Upworth, we have complete transparency about commercial arrangement, and we actually don't distribute any financial product through this savings account review, and we receive $0 through this module in contrast with traditional comparison website. So we really want to deliver on this promise to safely bring benefits to all of us through increased transparency and competition in the financial industry. But I think now it's time to really deep dive in the details and see a live demo. And Alex is going to do a demo for us.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I know everyone is busy. We are busy professionals. We really appreciate you guys connecting to this live stream. Thanks a lot, Max. Max did a great introduction, so I won't introduce myself again. Basically, one of the co-founders here at Upworth. And, maybe a few words before I deep dive into the live demo. When we created Upworth, our commitment was to help everyone unlock financial independence. As Max said, we're not delivering financial advice. However, we are empowering everyone with the tools to self-manage one's wealth. We are already known for a mortgage scanner that we created, where you can connect your mortgage through the Australian open banking regime, named CDR, for consumer data rights, which has already attracted quite a lot of interest, where people can literally connect their mortgage for free and have an alert whenever we identify significant savings. Then we thought, okay, what is the next one? Because we are committed to change everything in the financial industry. And we set our sights on savings accounts. We realize that they are truly universal. Pretty much everyone has a savings account, and yet they are not as simple as they seem. Savings accounts are not created equal. You can have savings accounts that are going to pay an interest rate, which is unconditional, which is the same. You have savings accounts that are going to have an introductory rate, which is only temporary. You have savings accounts which are going to pay a bonus interest rates, and often those conditional products, basically a lot of the value is contained in that bonus. And that bonus depends on very strict conditions, such as growing your balance, making a transfer, making certain number of transactions. In fact, the ACC, which authored a great report a few months ago, reckons that about 72% of people who have a bonus account do not earn their bonus. This is quite shocking as a number. The ACC authored a report that we strongly recommend, which is extremely interesting and has actually led to a number of recommendations. In fact, what we did is we looked at those recommendations because the ACC did a great job, and we decided to build a technological product that automates and gives every single of these recommendations almost to everyone. You'll probably hear in the press that the ACC actually has been heard. The Treasury is acting on some of the recommendations of the ACC and is trying to roll out some regulation. We are basically leapfrogging this. At Upworth, we're doing it before. And we are also releasing a white paper that we will make available here in the comments. You can access it. It's a research piece, independent research piece, as Max said, where we studied literally almost every savings account in the market. And we give you a sense of how to look at those savings accounts, what makes them different, and how to be strategic about it. That being said, as Max said, I'd like now to go into the live demo. By definition, this is a live demo. So we are hoping that nothing breaks here. We are crazy enough to go live to test it entirely. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen. There will be about like 3-4 steps in this live demo. First, I will connect an account through open banking to basically show you how simple and secure it is. I will stop sharing my screen at some point during that process because I'm basically connecting to my bank account. So even though, I trust everyone here and I'm sure nobody will steal my credentials, it is not the best practice. So we'll stop sharing at that very moment. Bear with me. The second step will be to validate and review the information contained into those accounts. Then we will get to the review of the opportunities that our scanner will be able to spit out very quickly. And then as a fourth and final step, I'll walk you through, the type of analysis that you receive for free automatically in our savings scanners. Don't worry, we have made time for Q&A at the end. And with no further delay, let's get into this. So let me share my screen here. All right. Max, if you can confirm that my screen is visible.
Yes, absolutely. It is.
Fantastic. All right. So for those of you guys who already have an Upworth account, this view will be familiar. For those who don't have an Upworth account, this is something you could get for free. So this is the main dashboard of Upworth. Here, what I'm going to do is literally connect a bank accounts. You can see here, this is our main menu. This gives you a little bit of sense of like all the assets and liabilities you can automatically connect in Upworth. We have a very broad coverage. You can connect your bank accounts. You can connect loans. That includes mortgages, real estate, residential properties, for which we give an automated valuation in Australia when it's available, superannuation, investment accounts, cryptocurrencies. Alternative assets are tracked manually, but they allow you to have the complete view. I'll get into the bank accounts. We will choose the secure automated connection here. Here you see the name Adatree pops up. Adatree is a professional data provider that we work with to securely connect with any bank in Australia. In that case, I'm going to connect with Westpac. As you can see, I won't go through this, but that details basically the amount of time you're giving access for, what the information will be, and what it will be used for. Now we're going to be basically passed to the Westpac environment where I will have to submit my details. So that's when, I'm basically going to stop sharing for a very short while. And I will be back in about 30 seconds, if you bear with me. This process is quite quick when you consider the connection. So I entered my details and I'm now receiving a text. There are two ways. You either receive a text or you receive an OTP in your bank application. It depends on the bank. Westpac works with a text system. I have received the code. You can see it. I will soon share again. So I'm now inside a Westpac banking platform. And I'm going to choose the account that I'm connecting. Again, for confidentiality reason, I'm not sharing that step. I've now connected my bank accounts in Westpac, and I'm being taken back to the Upworth website. So I'm going to share my screen again. Max, again, if you can just confirm that the screen is visible again.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So here, as you can see, we have here a notification. So I've basically linked the accounts in Westpac safely. I don't have to share credentials. It basically just works with your customer ID, and then an SMS, a text, or an OTP is sent to you. So basically, we're using the official open banking regime. Right now, we just have to wait a little bit. Basically, what our system does is we consume the information, and we then push a notification for you to validate your account. As you can see here, very similar to the notification system you'll find in Facebook, in LinkedIn. You see here a little bell. Here we have received a notification and we can validate accounts. I'll get into that step. So here we see the balance and we see the different accounts that have been connected. So here I have a Westpac choice, fantastic, that's the balance. You can decide to change the ownership. It happens to be my account. So here I'll just validate, that's correct. Here I have a second account. You can see here ownership is set by default at 50%. That's because it's a joint account. So we're able to automatically assess and see if it's a joint account. So here you can even recategorize it if you want to. Here I will say it's a joint checking account. Doesn't change the ownership, which was accurately captured, and it will be automatically applied to your balance. And finally, here a third account, which is the one we are really interested in today, which is a Westpac eSaver. Here again, you can see that the information is entirely loaded and correctly loaded. The reason why we do this is at times there are mistakes, there are slight glitches, and we want you to be able to correct them if you want to. So most of the time you'll find a correct screen like this. If it's not the case, you have the ability to change the ownership, to change the product name, to recategorize. As you can see here, everything is in fact correct. So we correctly automatically categorize this as a saving account, and we automatically pick up that it's a Westpac eSaver. So I will validate it again. Very smooth and decently quick process. As you can see, I think I've spent about 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes to connect into the bank accounts, load all the information safely, and validate my accounts. Now, as you can see, we'll receive the new notification, which is basically saying, oh, savings account opportunity, better interest rate available in your savings. Let's have a look, right? This is taking us to our savings account analysis page. And here, I'm going to walk you through. We're going to be able to see an entire analysis of all the savings accounts which are connected in this demo profile. So we will be able to see the accounts that I just connected with Westpac, but we're also going to be able to see other savings accounts that had been connected before. As you can see, this profile has 3 accounts. So the famous Westpac eSaver, we just connected, and also 2 Macquarie savings accounts. You may wonder why a transaction account is categorized as savings. It's because the Macquarie transaction account actually pays an interest rate. So we also include it, we consider it as a savings account. I'm going to walk you through this page. Just in terms of structure, you'll see here that we gives you the high-level metrics, and we give you a sense of what could be your potential interest rate and what is your interest rate today. We have a section about that we call your current circumstances that I will go through, which is a thorough analysis of every single savings account you've got. And then we have a pretty exciting tool, which we're really proud of, which basically is a self-serve tool where we let you see all the products in the market. Again, we don't give any financial advice. We don't distribute products. This is strictly comparison. The big difference is it's entirely independent. We do not receive any commercial benefit from showing you these products. And in fact, you will see that when I present that part, that the way we present them to you and the tools we give you departs a lot from what you're probably familiar with. Starting from the top, what we want to show you here is a proper and thorough assessment of what could be your circumstances. So if we look at the top line, you can see here that over 5 years, you have an opportunity, given your balance, the balance of that fake profile is around $19,000, to make an extra $950 to interest earnings over a 5-year period. You could have a potential interest rate of up to 5.5, while your current effective interest rate is of 4.67. You have the ability through this graph to look at your projected position for every single year in the next 5 years. So the way it works is cumulative. You'll see that your current balance is what you have today. We are assuming that you're not withdrawing anything, and that number in the gray area basically remains the same. So that current balance here. You can then see what could be your potential extra interest earnings from current product. What does that mean? It's basically the interest you could earn without changing products. Again, we are not here to try to place you on a product. We are here to properly inform you about your circumstances and what could be. It means that, let's say you have, a bonus product, a conditional product, and you're not earning the bonus today because you did not meet the conditions. We will show a number here. So we will potentially tell you, oh, you could earn an additional 150 in interest from your existing products because you are not meeting this bonus. If you were to meet the bonus, you will make more money. And finally, we show you the potential extra interest earning in the orange area. So when you look through time, this is cumulatively stacked. So here after 5 years, the way to read it is that you will have an additional potential earnings of 952. You can do this for any single products individually or in combination. Here we're looking at all the savings accounts, but you could decide to look just at the Westpac product that we connected a few minutes ago. That Westpac product, as you see, has a balance of around 400. And there could be a huge difference here because that effective rate for the Westpac product is at 1.1. You can check, you will find that indeed this is the correct rate for the Westpac eSaver product. And you could have a 5.5 given your balance. That would basically be quite a significant increase in the interest earning over 5 years. And then the graph automatically adjusts and is going to show you the numbers for that Westpac account. I'll move on to the current circumstances. In the current circumstances, we give you first a little, headline. So we basically tell you, look, for each of your products here, what is the product type, conditional or unconditional? Unconditional means that you're going to earn basically the interest rate no matter what. Conditional means that there is basically a bonus element to your interest rate. So it's conditioned to you meeting the conditions to get that bonus. We go also in the interest type. This one is a little bit trickier, is less well known, but is nonetheless very relevant and important. Banks do not pay basically interest rates all in the same fashion. They either pay it in what is called stepped or tiered. When it's stepped, it basically means that you're going to have different tiers, let's say from 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 100, 100 to 1 million. You're probably familiar to those balance tierings. What they will do is they will pay basically an interest rate which is going to be different for each portion of your balance. You have 150 in my examples, they'll pay an interest on the 0 to 1,000 and then on basically the 1,000 to 100 and then on the remaining portion on the 1,000 to 1 million. When it's tiered, it basically means they're just going to look at what's your total balance and they are going to apply the interest rate that basically matches that balance. That has quite a significant impact. I won't go into the details of it, but if you imagine a system where the interest rate decreases and you're in a tiered type of interest, you can see how you're going to earn less. Here you can open it. We tell you first, hey, there could be a higher rate available to you. We show to you, as I said, that you're on an unconditional tier product. We basically tell you, look, there is a total introductory rate, but you have 0 months left. And I think here it's a big thing I want to emphasize. And that was one of the recommendations of the ACC. In fact, we do not only show you whether there's a better rate. We also go into the details of what's happening with your account. A big thing in a classic game that a lot of us probably play is to be lured by high introductory rates. So a lot of banks will put products on market that have very high introductory rates. In fact, the Westpac eSaver is a very good example. As you can see here, for 5 months, you will be earning 5%. If you stop there, you're probably going to feel that it's a very good deal, but you need to go beyond that. Because past the 5 months introductory period, you will be earning 1.1, which is basically what the user here, in this case me, is earning basically on that product. What we want to show to you is whether you're still in the period to earn that high rate. So we track this automatically for you. Because of the information we get on your account, we're able to know when you open that account, and we're able to tell you how much is left. We also alert you, so you don't have to come here and check this page. We automatically send you an email, which is a pretty cool thing, because if you think about it, if you are into this game of trying to get the best rate, you can actually connect your account here. We will automatically tell you when it's about to lapse and when it has lapsed, so you know when you can change. What we show to you here as well are the bonus conditions. Here you see a NA, because again, this product is unconditional. If it were to be a conditional product with a bonus element, we will be letting you know whether you're meeting the conditions or not. Finally, we show you, how you stack in terms of tier. Here I'll use probably another one because that one doesn't have tiers. It's basically a single balance. As you can see here on that Macquarie product, you see where your money is falling in terms of tiers. So that Macquarie product has 3 tiers. Basically, because the amount is about 19,000, it all falls in the first tier. And you're able to see what is paid on that first tier. We give you the information in a very transparent manner. If I keep going with the analysis of the current circumstances, you see this bar here, which is a little summary telling you, okay, that's your current balance. This is basically the current effective rate. The current effective rate, we compute it. So we built a system where we look at what is being paid in interest in your account. We don't take this as an information from a third party. We recompute and rebuild your balance closing numbers to have the effective number. And we tell you, what's going to be the gross interest earnings and what's going to be the max potential rate. Remember, this is the same things that we are seeing at the top here when we are in this graph. What is the potential you could have from that product? Here, it's effectively the same. With that in mind, let's move maybe to the third part. That third part, again, is in fact driven and by some of the recommendations of the ACC. So as Max said at the beginning, the ACC, through its research, basically revealed that most of the comparison websites have commercial arrangements in place. And effectively, it does impact how they sort their results and which offers are going to show to you. We don't like this. And basically, our business model is not to make money by selling leads to banks. And those leads can go, in the tune of a few $100s for a person who will end up signing them. What we want to do instead is give to everyone the tools that we wish we would have for ourselves. So what you're going to see here is basically quite a large database, but we try to build a system which makes it very easy to query. We also maintain it ourselves. The way it works is that to start with, it gives you a view of what could be your potential extra interest earnings over that 5-year period for each of the products you see here. So here it's automatically sorted from the products that will give you the best, outcome to basically the lowest, and we could get going and load more. Basically, we'll be able to review every single of those products. Let me maybe explain a little bit the filters and how those things work here. First of all, you're able to categorize the product by conditional and unconditional. It may be important to you. Again, we're not giving financial advice, but you may decide, look, what's best for me is a product where I don't depend on the bonus and conditions I have to meet because I just don't care. I don't pay attention. I'm not that type of person. In that case, you can just decide to filter all products by the unconditional filter. And we'll show you again the products that are available here. Or you can look at all of them, which we had by default. You can decide to look at interest types, what I explained before. You may be looking for a product which pays tier interest or stepped interest. You can filter by balance tiers. So you can decide to look at any of those products based on, the amount of money that you have to invest. Here I need to make basically a small note. We don't strategize basically accounts. What I mean by this is we are not going to tell you to split your balances in several accounts to be able to benefit from a higher rate. This will effectively be a financial recommendation. Again, we do not do this. We give you the tools to decide for yourself. You are able also to look opportunities by account or for all your accounts. By default, we are showing you here for all your savings accounts how it could look like. But you could decide as well to look, for instance, specifically at the Westpac Saver account. As you can see here, the products don't change drastically because they remain potentially the most attractive products from an economic standpoint. But those estimates do change. And as you can see, the $100, 101, basically ties back with the number we're seeing at the top graph. If I basically repositioning as at default as all savings accounts, I want to go quickly through this part. What we show here, first is the product, and you can scroll down easily. We should automatically put a link if you decide to go and visit the page of that product. Again, no advice is given, but you can have access to the product details. Balance tiers, so we show to you which balance tiers apply, how it's going to impact you. As you can see here, it's quite relevant because here, above 25,000 on that quite attractive product, you'll be earning on only 0.1. So you need to be mindful of the balance tiering. Here, we show you the base rate and bonus rate. What is total ongoing max rate? The total ongoing max rate is basically the sum of the base rate and the bonus rate. We purposely exclude the introductory rate, as this introductory rate is only temporary. You'll find it here when it's available. Just for clarity, it's here, but it's excluded of your total ongoing max rate. you can decide to sort those results based on any of those categories. So you can see here, you have a little filter. You may be interested again in the total intro rate. I'm saying that's not in the total ongoing rate, but it may be your goal. Again, it's for you to decide. Our goal is to give you the tools. So here you'll find that the high interest savings account of Frabo Direct will give you 575 for 4 months. And you may be interested in having that information. If you look here at the special conditions, you'll find that you can't have already an high interest savings account, or you have to be a new customer only. That's for the Rabobank product. You're going to have this kind of information for every single product that we show to you here. So you'll be able, in every case, to see which conditions apply to you. With that in mind, I'll stop here with the live demo. I don't want to, give like way more details. I think what's important to remember is this module is available as of now. The white paper is also available. You can access, our research. You can access, the information, the intelligence as to how to look at savings accounts. Again, it's done independently and it's for free. So I'll stop sharing my screen from here, Max, and we'll give it back to you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Alex, for this very enlightening product demo. I have shared across channels the link of the white paper, so you should be able to see it, whether you are on LinkedIn or YouTube. Don't forget to check it out. It's free. We also have encouraged you, for those of you who have not created your Upworth account, to connect your savings account and go find the best deal as per the presentation and demo of Alex. And maybe now we are going to take questions. So if you are on YouTube, you can type on the comments on YouTube. If you're on LinkedIn, you can type the comments on the page as well of this live video. I encourage to ask questions. That's not every day that you have the opportunity to have us, the both of us, live. And so if anything was unclear or you misunderstand anything about the demo, the product, or if you have any thing that are still not clear to you about savings account, I think that's the moment. Of course, we don't provide financial advice, but we do understand the concepts at stake here, so we can help to define them or show you again some parts of the flow on the product. Please go ahead. Let me check the different channels if there are incoming questions.
And while Max is checking the questions, you can, at any point in time in the Upworth product, you do have a chatbot basically at the bottom right-hand corner. So if you struggle basically with the module, whether it's technical issues or understanding problems, please feel free to chat us up. Basically, we try to be as responsive as possible, and we'll be super happy to guide you. Additionally, like any technical problems that you encounter, we are very happy to know about them, because that's how we improve the products and we make sure that they don't happen again. Any questions from your hand, Max?
Thanks, Alex. So I think we have a first question coming from Vincent and Guillen. So thanks, Vincent, for being with us and for this great question. So your question is, and I read it, do you have any plans to update Upworth in the future? I guess that's the question is more on the details of that. So yes, of course, we have a lot of cool updates coming. And maybe Alex, do you want to share a few of those that we are able to share at this point?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking, Vincent. Like you're using this announcement to make more announcements, so it's a good one. Look, we have a lot of things coming. Basically, we constantly update the product, and in fact, it's probably a good opportunity to thank everyone who has been very helpful to us in the past months, because the next wave of updates or functionalities is very much informed by your inputs. So that one, for instance, the savings accounts, in fact, is not something we considered at first. It's something that a lot of you guys have been asking for, telling us that mortgage was great, but in fact, you had savings accounts and it was way more helpful to you, and it was a constant chase, and it was pretty tedious. It was pretty time consuming. In terms of what's coming next, I think it's worth mentioning two big things. At the moment, we are finalizing a cash flow module, which will be a budgeting module in effect. So for all your connected bank accounts, again, through open banking, a very seamless process, you'll be able to track your categorized expenses. You'll be able to self-categorize some of those expenses, and you'll be able to set goals. So those goals won't be set at a high level. You'll basically be able to set these goals at category levels, which we find is way more meaningful. Another module that we will be offering, that we are working on, is the ability for any of you guys to query your bank accounts through artificial intelligence. So here we are working on a bot, an intelligence inside Upworth, where you'll be able to ask pretty much any questions outside of financial advice. Again, that's the red lines that we respect, and we're very serious about this. But imagine having an interface where all your bank accounts are connected if you decide to, and all of a sudden, instead of handling spreadsheets, pivots, you can literally ask a question. You can be asking, look, what have been, how have my expenses trended in the past 5 months? What has been the biggest category? What is driving this increase? How is it comparing versus the 6 months before? What are the big ticket items? So you can really have almost like a natural conversation. I guess, question we have already got, and we are basically working on this, is how is it any different from a banking app? It's actually quite different from a banking app, first, because it connects all your bank accounts internationally. So you can actually decide to have any currency in there, and you can also decide to have any banks, not only Westpac, not only CBA, not only MoveBank. Literally all banks are all aggregated. You're not limited to the environment of a single bank. Additionally, we basically allow you to chat naturally there, right? So it's not a system where you have to review like a static dashboard. And finally, we are working on trying to improve a lot the accuracy. A big frustration that we share, because we also have those banking apps, is this accuracy is pretty low. So usually when you have categorized expenses in your banking app, you'll see that big categories that says unidentified that can be up to 30. At times we've even seen 40% of the total amount. So there are many things coming, but I think those two, the cash flow / budgeting and the artificial intelligence system, are probably the two biggest ones to watch out for. And again, it's just the near future. Or we have big dreams for Upworth, and hopefully you guys as well.
Thanks, Alex. Yes, indeed, pretty exciting times. And but to start with, we encourage everyone, of course, to check this new feature released today that is already available. In the meantime, we are definitely working on the next waves of innovation in the financial industry. But I encourage you guys to follow Vincent's footsteps by asking your questions. And with pleasure, Vincent. Any other courageous people on the live? Don't be shy. So we'll let you some time if some people are typing questions. So reminding as well for those of you who joined more recently, Upworth is a free personal finance website where you can manage all your wealth in one place. You can go, and I will share the address again, on upworth.com.au, and sign up, create an account, and then notably connect your savings accounts and get access to this great savings account scanner. So we'll wait a few seconds for more questions.
I guess if we don't have any more questions from other channels, Max, maybe
Yeah,
close out.
so actually, yeah, at this point, I think both on YouTube and LinkedIn, we don't have more questions. It seems your presentation was very clear, Alex. Congrats.
No, fantastic. Look, I mean, thank you everyone for joining by any means. Again, we are very available, so very responsive. So any questions, feel free to write to us, whether it's through LinkedIn or any medium. Very happy to help you guys, on board with Upworth. We have already quite a lot of people who have joined Upworth and are benefiting from the services of the technology. So yeah, feel free to spread the word and feel free to join us. And thanks for your attention and your time today.
Exactly. Thanks everyone. Again, we are really glad to share this major update with you all today. And yeah, this video will remain on our page as well. So if you want to come back to the demo in the future, it will be on our YouTube channel as well as on my LinkedIn page, Maxime Chaury. And we are looking forward to speak with you later on while you try the product and give us your feedback. It's always extremely valuable for us, as Alex mentioned, not only to, of course, support you in your journey, but also you are supporting the next stages of growth for Upworth and the next cool features and benefits that we are building for you.
Thank you, everyone.
And everyone, thanks, Alex. Bye-bye.